Hi, I'm Richard Friedman, and welcome to my video cartoon for May 26, 2025. Good to see you, folks. Here I have my latest video. This is titled Richard's President Trump's Dream, a new Trump Bondi Retribution gold coin. Now, given the success of President Trump's just last dinner with his gold coin, the vast amount of money that was accumulated and made, so I thought he might have logically had a dream of another dinner like that and selling another coin, and here it is. This is the Trump Bondi Retribution coin. There it is. There it is. Now, I got a little background here. Now, first, when President Trump, his first choice for Attorney General was Matt Gaetz. You see? And everybody said, no, we can't have Matt Gaetz, this and that. So what happened was, basically, that Matt Gaetz, Trump didn't say goodbye. Matt Gaetz decided he didn't want the position, and he withdrew his name from the nomination. So then President Trump came up with Pam Bondi from Florida. Now, Pam Bondi historically had been a great supporter of President Trump, and and compared to Matt Gaetz, among the people who are the centrists, or Democrats and Republican centrists, let's say, and Democrats and liberal Democrats, compared to Matt Gaetz, Pam Bondi was like a second coming of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. You know, like a second coming. Here's Ruth Bader Ginsburg compared to Matt Gaetz, and they had some people had some great expectations. Well, I'm not going to go there. That's for you to decide. But here is logically Trump's dream of a Trump Bondi Retribution coin that he would sell out for his next dinner and try to duplicate that success that he did with his first gold coin. And there it is. Let's take a look. There's Department of Justice in the background. There's President Trump here. Thumbs up with Attorney General U.S. Attorney General Pam Bondi. There we have it, the American flag. And that's the coin. Now let me read you to the introduction here. Richard's President Trump's Dream, a new Trump Bondi Retribution gold coin. Okay, there it is. Given back in March 2025, President Trump delivered a speech at the Justice Department saying in his opening remarks, he visited the Justice Department and he made these opening remarks, the initial remarks he made there, okay, back in March of 2025, the Justice Department is starting a, quote, a proud new chapter in the chronicles of American justice. Given back in January, about a dozen Justice Department employees, these were prosecutors, okay, they were prosecutors who worked for the special counsel Jack Smith, who had indicted then Citizen Trump in 2 criminal cases after he left office. Those 2 people, those 3 people who were involved, a dozen or so, were fired, not because of incompetence or any misdeeds. Basically, it appeared. Now nobody can prove it either way, but it appeared that it was because of their connection to this guy Smith, who Trump had called the deranged. Remember deranged Smith, deranged Jack Smith, you know. So there you have it. So and they got this email. Stating the department, meaning the Justice Department leadership, determined they were unable to carry out President Trump's agenda. Okay, so by now we know what President Trump's agenda is, and I'm not going to go there either. I'm just giving you the facts. They were unable to basically carry out his agenda, and they were terminated. Okay? So nobody has proven that it was because of this or X, Y, but there was a very strong correlation between people who had worked for Jack Smith and people who were fired. Okay, let's put it that way. In statistical terms, it might have been a 1.0. All right, I remember my statistics. Okay, 1.0 correlation. All right, now here is the here was the coin. Okay, and President Trump's dream retribution gold coin called, this is the title of the coin, the proud new chapter of American justice. This is the proud new chapter of American justice, the Trump Bondi new retribution coin. There it is. Again, there it is. There was the Department of Justice in the background. Close. Pam Bondi, U.S. Attorney General, and President Donald Trump. Thumbs up with the Justice Department, as I said, in the background. Okay. Now, I came across this cartoon the other day, and it brought back some memories, and I'm going to, this is a flashback that I thought a little bit appropriate here. This was from November 19th, 2023. So in November, it'll be 2 years this November, since this is from back then. Now, what I did is, this was the cartoon. President Donald Trump, following his 2024 presidential victory, this was a prognostication, a future event. So I made this as the future, and it came true. President Donald Trump, following his 2024 presidential victory, meets his administration's loyalist Justice Department top officials. Given as it stands now, President Biden is trailing Trump in 5 important battleground states, and Trump said on Univision he could weaponize FBI, DOJ against his enemies and indict opponents, as he claims his opponents have done to him. Like an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Quote, it could certainly happen. This was President Trump's direct quote at that time. It could certainly happen in reverse, quote, unquote. And according to a new report, Trump's allies are prepared to stock the government with up to 54,000 loyalists should he win in 2025, which he won. Now, here was this cartoon from way back then, and these are all fictional people that I drew who are supporting President Trump. There's the Justice Department in the background, and the logo of the Justice Department here that I drew in the background, and Trump is at the Justice Department here meeting with his new officials there, with his fist raised up high there, and that was everybody giving a thumbs up. Okay, and I have Trump in this at this meeting here with his new Justice Department officials, saying, "The Biden Department of Injustice is gone. You must get me lots of indictments to put all those Trump haters and witch hunters out of business. I'm putting this message up on Truth Social. Trump is back better. The genie is out of the box." And that was that. That was from, here it is. There it was. That's the date on that. November 19th, 2023. And there. These are all fictional characters. These were not designed to represent anybody. This was just fictional people who I created supporting President in his new, hired at the Justice Department to replace the people who had been there. And this was my futuristic view at that time. All right. Thank you for watching my video. And God bless you. And I'll see you next time. Bye.